Planning is one of the most important parts of effective management. Planning can be defined as managing and analyzing different avenues to find the best step towards achieving a goal or task. Planning allows for careful and logical decision making. It also serves as the base for managerial functioning, as all other parts cannot be successfully completed without proper planning. Planning helps to formulate the objectives and targets how they can be accomplished in the best way possible. It is important for planning to be a first step, as it allows for improvements in future tasks. The planning process involves finding ways and making decisions on how to pursue organizational goals and tasks. The process gives full attention to all other functions so that a clear path of successfully accomplishing the task is given. Without proper planning, managers will not be organized, nor be a great leader, because they will face many challenges that could have been avoided if they simply took the time to plan each and every single task. Planning comes with many benefits. With planning, everyone will have a clear understanding on where the organization needs to be at. It will increase motivation of staff members, as all strengths and weaknesses will now be highlighted. Managers will also be able to clearly recognize what is holding the organization back from accomplishing their goals. The organization will also begin to use their resources effectively while ensuring that each and every step is completed to its full potential. Managers will improve their performance when they plan and establish objectives that will help envisioning an outcome. Planning gives managers the benefit of being able to have coordination in each step that they take and limits uncertainty. The planning process also allows managers to evaluate where the organization currently stands versus where they would like to be at. This is why it is important for all managers to effectively plan so that organizations will decrease its chances of failing.
Corinne would have just outlined the definition for planning, as well as the pros and cons associated with this managerial function. Following this, I will discuss the internal and external analysis, which would be observed within an organization before planning anything. This analysis breaks down a complex topic into smaller parts in order to better understand it. This can be applied to any concept, especially a business venture or new ideas within the organization. The internal analysis is where opportunities and challenges for the organization will be assessed. This focuses on the internal environment of the organizational culture, history, capabilities, values, and resources. This can be further broken down into assessments done in financial reporting, inventory requisitions, etc. This analysis would create a holistic view of the company's functions. By doing this, the organization is able to increase its competitive advantage. After conducting a full internal analysis, this is followed by an external analysis, which covers any variables outside of the organization, but still affecting the organization. The external components are much harder to analyze than the internal ones. This external analysis primarily focuses on the competitive environments within the industry that the firm operates. This includes suppliers, competitors, customers, stakeholders, employees, etc. This competitive environment represents the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats that are unique to the business. Conducting this analysis also extends to technological, legal, economic, political, demographic, and social elements that impact the firm on a macro level. Overall, the analysis gives the managers and employers a bearing on where to create value within the organization. Each component of the analysis takes into account all of the opportunities, challenges, and risks. Then a decision on which direction to guide the organization is taken. Understanding the internal and external analysis is vital in increasing the probability of success. Planning is an ongoing step that creates constant reevaluation and modifications to the internal and external analysis. After conducting this analysis, the organization can then follow through with their game plan, benchmark, and contingency plan, which my colleague Chelsea will now discuss.
The planning process provides you with information that management needs to make an effective decision about how to allocate the resources in a way that will enable the organization to reach its objective. In the planning process, there are 3 major steps that we are focusing on. That will be creating a game plan, the benchmark, and the constituency plan. Creating a game plan is a set of strategies and tactics with actionable steps to help you solve a specific problem, based on the context and the consequences of this problem. It gives you the best possible setup outcome in your solution proposal based on the input and the resources that you have at your disposal. In some companies, this is known as the vision. Companies set a business plan or vision every year so that they will be able to achieve a new goal. The benefits of having a game plan is that it combines all the team members and employees together to achieve one common goal. All employees are aware of this path of the company's goal that they want to reach, and each department knows what their role is and what is expected of them. Next, a benchmark. A benchmark is defined as the process of measuring products, services, and processing against those of organization known to be the leader in one or more aspects of their organization. Benchmarking is a technique that enables better strategy planning in the business. This also involves looking at other examples of the best practices used by competitors or within other industries. It also may be used to evaluate products, services, process, or functions. For example, Fidelity and Commonwealth Bank. Although they are both banks, they both offer very different services to try and gain more customers. For instance, Commonwealth Bank do not give their Visa card holders points when they use their Visa card. However, Fidelity gives their customers redeemable points to attract more customers. Another example of a benchmark would be Alive versus BTC. For example, many years, the Bahamas telecommunication company monopolized the telephone company in the Bahamas. However, Alive became its biggest competitor when it launches its services in November 2016. Came with a better service with high-speed internet, cheaper products prices, lower telephone rates, and better deals that customers were interested in. Because of a live game plan and benchmark, they took half of BTC customers because they studied their competitors. Lastly, the constituency plan. The constituency plan is defined as a course of action designed to help an organization respond to an event that may or may not happen. A business constituency plan is a backup strategy for a team or organization. The constituency plan can also be referred to as the Plan B or a backup plan, because it can work as an alternative action if things don't go as planned. For an example, if you normally schedule to host an important meeting at your house at a certain time, and we know BPL holidays are in the summer, you have to have a backup generator to make sure that your meeting goes as planned and it don't go in any other direction. And that is known as the constituency plan.
As my colleagues would have just outlined, the vital steps in planning consist of defining what it is that the organization will be doing. Followed by that would be observing the internal and external analysis. The steps the organization will take to achieve this plan, understanding the goals and objectives, and lastly, assigning roles to members of the organization that will be responsible for execution. Once these steps are completed, a full evaluation of your plan's success must be at hand. In an organization, people are assigned roles so that there is no conflict. This is an understanding of who does what to avoid any confusion. Typically, a role will be assigned to you based on your strong attributes. If the assigned roles are a team effort, your team members will share in the same passion as you in order to properly execute the task. This course of action to assign roles can be determined by a manager who will analyze all available options and make a final selection. For evaluating the plan, this involves an analysis of the different roles assigned and how successful they were. Different factors are measured against each other to determine a level of success in each role's performed. In order to know if your plan was successful, reevaluate the mission statement, which may be achieving increased profits, market shares, wins for a sports team, number of participants at an event, etc. Finally, at various points in the planning process, objectives and mission statements may need to be adjusted or modified in order for proper execution. Measuring success can be both qualitative and quantitative. Each of these measurements require continuous attention and will influence the other objectives on the list. If managers are not satisfied, then the employees are not. If customers are not satisfied, then they are on the receiving end of the disgruntled employee or poor service. Evaluating success is to deliver on all measures that would satisfy managers, employees, and customers.